Welcome back to Storytime with Lynn. Today I'll be reading The Monster Who Wanted It All by Andy Green. Before we begin, I would like to introduce you to Zelly, the monster of envy. The Monster Who Wanted It All, a Worrywoo Tale by Andy Green. Zelly was an envious one, so envious to the core. Nothing was ever good enough, he always wanted more. He didn't like the things he had and thought his friends had better. He didn't like the clothes he wore, his pants, his shoes, his sweater. Zelly moped around with a big old frown. He always looked so grim. He thought that others had it all. Why couldn't it be him? His patience never lasted long. His attention wasn't there. Unless the spotlight was on him, he really didn't care. For a moment he was happy with the latest thing he owned, but if something new should catch his eye, he'd get jealous to the bone. He often shouted, "Mine, mine, mine," or yelled out, "Give me that." Zelly's friends were growing tired of him, acting like a brat. At parties and on holidays, Zelly always seemed so sad, for he needed, wanted, longed to get what other monsters had. Spots of green would then appear, each time he felt a twinge of the envy that was deep inside. It was taking over him. But a fateful day came Zelly's way when he noticed in the sky a rainbow arcing through the clouds. It shimmered way up high. He held his breath and made a wish. "I want to be a king. Everything will be for me. I won't share anything." Zelly yawned and stretched. It was time to rest. His eyes began to close. And when he awoke, he was in a room with toys up to his nose. There were presents galore upon the floor, scattered everywhere. From books to games to flashing trains, not a single inch was bare. Zelly walked around, surprised to find he now was in a castle, with his portrait high upon a wall, draped with a golden tassel. "Your Majesty," a voice then said, "your dinner is prepared. Please do come and wear your crown and sit in your grand chair." "I am a king," Zelly sang with delight as he danced around the hall. "Tomorrow I'll tell everyone and invite them to a ball." But Zelly soon forgot his plan. His life was like a dream. He lounged on squishy pillows and feasted on ice cream. As days passed by, Zelly started to feel something was amiss. All the things that he had wished for hadn't brought him happiness. Without someone there to share his fun, Zelly finally came to see that a castle filled with lots of stuff was empty as can be. He thought of his friends and family as he sat upon his throne. Was the wish he made really worth the price of being all alone? Zelly grabbed his cape and shiny crown, and to Woo Town he departed. But to his dismay, he walked all day and was right back where he started. "How will I ever leave this place? I'm not where I should be," Zelly muttered as he looked around. "This isn't right for me." "Your Majesty," a voice then asked, "is there something wrong? Perhaps you've begun to appreciate what you once had all along." When he heard those words, Zelly understood exactly what he'd done. He had let his feelings turn him green by envying every one. He lost sight of what had mattered most, be it big or be it small, for while he wanted this and that, he already had it all. Zelly yawned and stretched. It was time to nap, so sleepy was the king. And as he drifted off, he said, "I don't need all these things." Soon he was in a dreamy place, remembering what had been. The life that Zelly left behind was calling out to him. And in this state of bliss he heard, "Your dinner is prepared." Zelly opened up his eyes to see his family standing there. Surrounded by the ones he loved, Zelly now had everything. He smiled and laughed, for he knew at last how it felt to be a king. The end. Thank you so much for joining me today on Storytime with Lynn, The Monster Who Wanted It All by Andy Green.